In this story, I'm going to tell you how I met my first business partner and how I got into the jewelry business. Coming up now. If you remember previously, I told you that I met a girl at the bar just to avoid hanging out with my ex-girlfriend. I just grabbed her and we started dancing. And her name starts with C, so we're going to call her Cece. All right? And she ended up being a big part of my life. We had, some things in common. We had a lot of stuff that wasn't in common. But I liked about her is that she was raised with good morals and things like that. And, coming from some people that I dated, that was appealing to me. She was pretty and tall and skinny, and that's kind of like what I like. And, like I said, she was raised right. She had good parents, and good parenting and things. And we had some things in which, probably was opposite of me because I was like a troublemaker, and that's what I mean by we didn't have things in common. Things we did have in common was that she wanted to be in the jewelry business, and I had already a side hustle going that I was kind of into for a while since like the mid 80s. How I got into the jewelry business was that I went to the Jewelers Center building in Chicago, in downtown on Jewelers Row, and I had a bunch of gold to sell. And this is because, from doing side jobs, plumbing and maybe selling things, stuff. Sometimes people, wouldn't have the money. Now, I don't know who hires you to do a job or whatever and doesn't have the money, but sometimes they would, just pay you with whatever they have, like a TV or a car stereo or gold chain or a diamond ring or something they have laying around. Like I told you, I did collections too. So, lots of times I would have to just, turn that stuff into cash to pay my boss. And if there was any left over, I could keep it. So I learned that there's this building full of jewelers. And every month or so I would have like a box full of, jewelry and just scrap gold. And I would want to go sell it. But I didn't just sell it to like the first person that I went to, the first place that I went to. I went around the building and I ended up selling it to the place that offered me the most. But the place I went to first, it kind of irked me a little bit because, they offered me so little. So I went back and I said, hey, how come you offer, I'm going to put numbers to this, but these aren't exact numbers because I don't remember way back then. But let's just say that he offered me $6 a gram. And I'm like, hey, how come you, only offer me $6 a gram? Because I just went and sold it for $10 a gram. And he's like, well, I can't possibly give you $10 a gram because I could sell it to you for $8 a gram. And now I had like, a few $100s in my pocket. And I'm like, I thought I was calling his bluff. I'm like, yeah, okay, then I'll buy some then if you'll sell it for that. And so he did. So now I felt kind of stupid because now I had gold again I had to get rid of, So I went back, to the place that I sold it to that gave me $10 for it. And I said, I've got some more. Would you take it? And they're like, yeah, why wouldn't we? It's like, come on, bring it. Like, okay, here you go. And I'm like, well, if I can get some more, would you buy that too? They're like, yeah, keep it coming. Whatever you get, whenever you get it, bring it. We'll buy it. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. So instead of doing side jobs and other stuff like that, after that, then I just started going to there and I would just wholesale within the building. I would go to one place and buy it for $8 a gram and go to another place and sell it for $10, $11 a gram. And, I started doing that in the building. And I started also making other contacts too because, the dealers would see me in there. Now, they didn't want to work with me because if you would go to the door and, buzz the thing and they see you and here, like I'm in work boots and my Carhartts and I'm all dirty from, working. And they don't even want to let you in. They're, who's this? He's not a jeweler, So it was hard to get into that, but I at least I knew some contacts, and I would see people in the building. In fact, one guy approached me in the elevator, and he said, "Hey, I could see that you're a hard worker and that you're, you go a lot of places in here or whatever, and we're looking for, a guy to work for a diamond company to sell diamonds to like other jewelers and stuff." And he gave me his card. And so, I had other things going on. I didn't get into it at the time, but I could have probably started then. But anyway, so I kept this. It was a side hustle that I had going all along. So when I met her and she's like, I want to be in the jewelry business, I'm like, hey, I've got contacts downtown. I know people, whatever. And she's like, well, let's maybe start a business, start a jewelry business. It didn't really, work out with her. And this is because we just had different ideas about it. I wanted to be into diamonds and engagement rings and do this, full time with a location and everything. And she just wanted to make herself, like, she wanted to be a bench jeweler. She wanted to make artsy craftsy stuff and sell it at like nowadays, I guess you would sell it on Etsy or something. But back in the day, you would sell it at like craft shows or something. She didn't really want to do like real, like a real jewelry business. So it got to be, too much, and she went out of that. So the company was Jewelry By, and then her middle name which started with S. So Jewelry By S. And so I just made a company, JBS Diamonds. And if anybody asked, I just told them it stands for Just Bullshit. Then I ended up changing names and still do that to this day. But that's how that got started. Well, guys, if you're still watching, you must have liked the video. And if you did, give it a like. Now, if you want to see more like this, subscribe and click the bell. If you got some extra time on your hands, why not watch another one? You can choose one from the Stories of My Life playlist, which will appear here after I disappear. Or you could watch the next one in the series, which will also appear here. See you in the next one.